Hello, everybody. It's Lisa. It's time again for another verbling class. I think some people are just finishing up with Jeff, who was talking about drive-in movie theaters, something that used to be pretty popular in the United States. And in fact, in my small town of Port Townsend, Washington, we have our own drive-in movie theater that's open in the summertime only. So I'm going to wait while everybody realizes that the class is starting. It's 1 o'clock my time, and so on Verbling, we start our classes every hour on the hour. And for the next 2 hours, I will be teaching. This class is going to be a reading class where people take turns reading, and then we'll discuss what we've been reading and make sure everybody understands what the reading is about, and we can talk about vocabulary words and any questions that you might have. So I see that people are joining in. If you are watching and you want to join, click on the Join Class button. It's a green button up above the Verbling text chat box. And if you would like to watch the class but not participate by speaking, you can participate if you want in the Verbling chat box by typing in questions and things. So I'm just going to wait here. I think we might almost be full. Once it is full, then you'll get the message this class is full, at which time nobody else can join. However, I often encourage people to stick around because sometimes people have to leave or they lose their internet connection, and then the green button will appear again and you will be able to excuse me, you'll be able to join at that time. So welcome everybody. I put the link already once in the chat. I'm going to put it here again. It's also on the Verbling live classes page. This is a reading. I was actually watching a TED Talk. I don't know if you guys are familiar with TED Talks, but they are on YouTube and on the internet. You can find lots of TED Talks, and they're often people in various types of businesses or areas of study who are talking about innovative ideas, so like new ideas. And so yesterday I was watching a TED Talk about rooftop farming in Montreal, Canada, and so that inspired me for today's reading. I found a little bit, it's kind of an article, it's more of a description actually of what they call the top 5 farms, rooftop farms in different cities around the world. So we're going to read about that. Okay, so I'm hearing from people that the class is full. So if you want, you can still read along with us if you want to just watch. Also, if you want to go do something else and come back later, the Verbling classes are always recorded and they're put up on the Verbling site later. So I guess we'll get started here since we're full. I will introduce myself, and then I will ask everybody who's here in the Google Hangout to introduce yourselves by telling us your name and what country you're from. And then we will get started. Okay, and here we go. Let's start with Sergio. Are you there, Sergio?
Hello.
Hi there.
I'm Sergio. I am from Brazil.
Nice.
Recife, Brazil.
Oh, Recife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And I am a Spanish teacher. I'm speaking Portuguese, but I speak Spanish too.
Okay, wonderful. My brother was a foreign exchange student when he was about 15 or 16 years old to Recife. And he had a very good time living in Brazil.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, welcome. And Maha, you're here?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
My name is Maha. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Wonderful. And Keen, are you here?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome. I can hear you.
I am Karim. I am from Egypt. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. That's wonderful. Somebody was muting me, so don't mute the teacher, you guys. You're from, I'm sorry, you said you're from Egypt?
Yeah, I am from Egypt.
Okay, great, wonderful.
I am Arabic teacher, and it's first time for me to participate with you in this wonderful site.
Okay, well, welcome. Good to have you. And Julissa, how are you doing today?
Hi, Lisa. Fine,
Hi.
thank you. Nice to be in your class again. Hello, guys. I'm Julissa from Peru.
Okay,
Hello.
welcome. And Juan Diego, are you there? Juan? You're putting up Andre's photo, but are you there, Juan? Because if you're talking, I cannot hear you. So I'm going to go over to Diana. Are you there, Diana? 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 Okay, Andre, you're up. I can't hear them.
Hi, my name is André. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo City.
Okay, great, wonderful. And Ahmed, are you there?
Yes, my name is Ahmed. I'm from Egypt and I'm living in Kuwait.
Okay, great. And let's see, over here is Sybil joined us. Hi there, Sybil.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am okay. Thank you so much. I'm Sibel. I'm from Turkey, and this is my second lesson with Lisa. So I really enjoyed in this class. Thank you so much.
Great. I'm glad you made it in. Okay. And Juan, are you there yet? Juan? Okay. If I cannot hear you, then something's wrong. You have to fix your mic or let me know in the chat what is going on. Otherwise, I'm going to kick you out and let somebody else in because we have lots of people watching who are probably trying to get in. Okay, Diana, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
Okay, great. Why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Diana. I'm from Colombia, and I'm here because I want to learn English.
Great, wonderful. And Juan, you have your mic on now?
Sorry, what?
I'm trying to get in touch with Juan. I see that the microphone is working now.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Juan, if you're there, speak up. Okay. All right. So there's another place open if somebody wants to join in. Has everybody opened the reading? It's called the top 5 of the greatest urban rooftop farms. Okay. Yeah. And Tomas, you came into the class. I want to welcome you. Tomas, are you there? Okay, I'm going to give Tomas a little bit of time to figure out his microphone. Okay, so I'm going to put the reading up on the screen share so we can get started here. And it's kind of a long reading today, and there's some pictures in there because I copied this from an internet website, and the website is at the bottom of the page if you want to go there yourselves. But I find that sometimes it's easier to read when we make the font bigger, so it's easier for the screen share for people who are watching this recording later. So here we go. This is the first picture here of an urban farm, and I'm going to ask Ahmed to begin reading right here. So that's the picture first, but the reading is right here. Why don't you go ahead and actually read these first 2 paragraphs, since the first one is kind of short. We have a lot of reading today, so we shouldn't run out.
Okay, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Urban farming has become one of the major international urban trends. A good reason for you to make a top 5 of the greatest rooftop farms we have come across over the last year. All over the world, people feel the need to start producing their food locally again. In cities, however, this is pretty difficult due to the lack of open space. The urban farming movement started in cities like Detroit that face a lot of vacancy. These shrinking cities have plenty of open space to produce locally grow vegetables.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
User, okay.
So, so let me just go over this since some people are new. The way I do the reading classes is we have the article or the selection that we're going to read, and I ask people to read a paragraph or two, and we're just going to read through it once, first of all, just to get practice reading. If you don't know how to say a word or something, just let me know, and I'll help you pronounce it. And then after that, we'll go through it again a second time, and then I will read it so that you hear how I pronounce it, and I will also go over the meaning of words that you guys need to know to be able to understand the article. Okay? So I want to make sure everybody actually understands what we're talking about, and this is a good way to pick up new vocabulary words within a context, not just studying random words on some kind of vocabulary list, but actually using it. Okay? So, let's see. Andre, you're next.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Never feel it. Yeah.
Nevertheless, yeah.
Nevertheless. Nevertheless, increasing numbers of people in dense cities like New York, Tokyo, and Hong Kong feel the urgent need to grow produce in their own city. The only spaces left in these cities are rooftops. 5 years ago, rooftop farms were stopping, and only expressed in pictures, rendering, and collages.
Collages.
Now they emerge all over the world, making the city greener from above. Out of all these initiatives, we have selected 5 of the most interesting urban rooftop farms.
Okay. So now they're going to talk about the 5 different ones. So here's a picture of the first one. It's in Hong Kong. So it's on the top of a building. That's why it's called rooftop. That's another, roof is the name of the top of a building, rooftop. Okay, Diana, you want to go now? This one?
Okay.
Okay.
HK Farm Hong Kong. HK Farm is a relatively new farm in the amazingly dense city of Hong Kong. The farm, founded in March this year, aims to communicate the value of rooftop farming and the benefits of locally produced food. Besides being a farm, the artistic organization behind HK Farm focuses on the designing products and offering urban farming-related service in the city of Hong Kong.
Services.
Yeah.
Remember to put the S on there. Okay. And Julissa, how about you read the next one, please?
Okay. While in the rest of the world, farms are led by farmers, Hong Kong Farm is the first farm in the world with a creative director. Michael Leung is the founder and creative director of Hong Kong Farm. He also ran HK Honey and co-founded a community-oriented art and design platform called Shanghai Street Studios in Yau Ma Tei.
Right. Shanghai is how you say that. Shanghai.
Shanghai.
In English, anyways. I don't know in Chinese. Yeah. Okay. Kareem, you want to go next? Keen?
Okay.
Yeah. So, right here.
Lingus interest agriculture started abroad when he visited other rooftop farms, like the world's largest rooftop farm, Brooklyn Grand. HK Farm is limited in size and want to produce much food over the year, but we must admit that the farm looks very stylish thanks to its creative director.
Very stylish. Okay. And this word I just wanted to say, that's called grange. So it has a Soft
thanks.
G.
Grains.
Hard G and a soft G. Yes, great.
Oh,
Okay, here, and then we have the number 2 farm. That's a picture of the Brooklyn Grange right there. And that's in New York City. So how about we have Maha, why don't you read about the Brooklyn Grange, that first paragraph, please.
Okay. Brooklyn Grange, New York City. Way more serious in terms of products in the Brooklyn Grange. Urban rooftop farm.
Yep.
Claimed to be the largest urban rooftop farm in the world. Brooklyn Grange serves the local community with real original produced vegetables and fruit, as producing food should be the focus point of a farm. We believe that this Brooklyn initiative deserves a spot on this list.
And that word right there is focus. Yeah. Okay, good. Sergio.
Okay, we go over to acres of rooftop under cultivator in Brooklyn, Queens. Brooklyn Grange has sold over 40 million. Thousand. Okay. It's pounds. Veg to restaurants. CSA member and the public view weekly farm stands, but the farm has expanded beyond its mission to ground vegetable. It's currently keeping laying chicken, and it has lawn and commercial apiary. Okay. Cultivating bees for their honey.
Bees. Cultivating bees for their honey. Okay. Good. And Sibel.
Yes.
Okay. You're up.
Yeah. The educational. I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The educational non-profit farm City Grover hosts thousands of New York youth for educational tours and workshops each season. Brooklyn, by the way, could be considered the international capital of urban farming. Besides Brooklyn Grange, it also hosts the Eagle Street rooftop farm in Greenpoint and Gotham Greens, a rooftop farm which consists of sterile greenhouses that produce over 80 tons of premium quality produce.
Yes. Okay, great. And the third one here is this Dakar, Rotterdam. That's in in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. And so how about we have Tomas? I think you got are you muted? You might have gotten muted. So why don't you read this paragraph here, starting with Dakar, in Rotterdam. Tomas?
Okay. Yes, can you listen me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. In Rotterdam, an architect collective has reclaimed an old building in the center of the city and start using the roof to build an urban farm on top of it. As part of the 5th International Architect Biennale Rotterdam, this first rooftop farm of the city on top of the Schipbocht building was built as a test site. The garden houses vegetables and herbs and some bees too. The urban rooftops farms called Takaka is an initiative or architecture firm set US and has sold its first veggies and herbs to local restaurants and shops.
Okay, great. All right, back over here to Ahmed.
Yes.
Can you read that next one? Good.
Yes. Also, in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, in Netherlands, the Street Park rooftop farm has opened its doors last year, located along the city's Range Road. Street Park focuses on activities, workshops, and education, as well as on organizing special dinners with a view.
With a view. Okay, great.
Yeah. City.
So
continue? Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So I'm going to go to Andre next, but first let's look. This is a picture of the one that's in Tokyo that Andre is going to read about in a minute here. But I just wanted to mention it's going to tell us, but recognize that this has a lot more water, and so I think that's rice growing there on top of a building.
This is rice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, Andre, why don't you read that first paragraph about the city farm in Tokyo?
Yes, city farm in Tokyo. City farm in Tokyo sets itself apart from European and American rooftop farms. The idea of producing local food for the community is the same, and also in Tokyo activities are organized to let the urban population witness how food grows. The type of food, though, is slightly different and focused on the Japanese kitchen.
Yes. Okay, Diana, how about you read the next one?
Okay. Crops produced by city farms include rice, eggplants, and soybeans. These require different farming techniques. As rice grows in wet circumstances, draining and irrigating, the roof will be different from Western world rooftop farms.
Okay, and Julissa.
Yes. On September 1st, Limura Kazuki opened Omotesando Farms, a rooftop garden rental space in a central upscale commercial and residential district. The farm offers 16 small flats at rents ranging from $170 to $250 per month.
Wow. That's expensive. Yes, in Tokyo, things are very expensive, I hear. Okay, great. All right, and here's number 5, the last one that they talk about in this article. And this is the one that I heard the TED Talk about the other day. It's in Montreal. It's called Lufa Farms. And this picture, it's pretty huge space, a big rooftop area. So how about we have, Keen, you want to read the first paragraph there about Lufa Farms in Montreal?
Lufa Farms, Montreal, taking about large-scale farming from an entrepreneurial point of view. Lufa Farms, Montreal is pretty interesting. On top of two-story building, the farm was built 30,000 square foot greenhouse. Over 40 different crops are being produced year-round in the rather innovative greenhouses that can even stand the snow in the Canadian winter.
Okay, great, thank you. And Maha?
Thanks.
Okay, from where?
Right here, for watering the plants.
Okay, for watering the plants, the farm uses the irrigation system of the building for some crops produced in this greenhouse, extra energy is needed. This energy is largely provided by the building too. This way, Lofa Farms really uses the
advantages
of the airplane.
Maha. The advantages. Okay, something happened. Are you there, Maha?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, what is the advantages?
Advantages.
Yes, of the urban conditions, which makes it is a real urban rooftop farms.
Lufa.
And Lufa Farms is currently looking to expand its activities to the United States and find a way to scale urban farming.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go back now to the beginning, and we're going to talk about what this means. But before we do that, I'm going to let Sergio and Sibel and Tomas also have another practice at reading. So I'm going to ask them to read the first parts for us again. And this time, while you're listening to them, see if you come up with any questions that you have for vocabulary. Okay, and I know that Andre's over there looking up the words already, probably. Okay, all right, Sergio, how about you read the first two paragraphs of this article again for us to give you some practice again. Do you see it in my screen share?
Okay. What mean rooftop? Rooftop?
Okay. With the top. So on a house, usually the very top is called the roof. And on a building, they usually call it a rooftop. So it's on the very top of the roof, the very top of the building. And that's where they're putting these gardens or these farms, and that's why it's called rooftop. So it's on the top. So you can see in the picture, you see how this picture here is the top of the building. The roof, when we say the roof of something, a house or a building, it's the top. And so they're putting these farms on the top of buildings instead of down on the ground. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't you read for us those first two paragraphs? You see where I am?
Lê os dois. Okay. Okay. Urban?
Urban.
The urban farming has become one of the major international urban trends. A good reason for us to make a top 5 of the rooftop
farms. Yep.
Farm we've come across over the last years. However, the world people feel the need to start producing their food locally again. In city, however, this is pretty difficult due to the lack of open space. The urban farming movement started in cities like Detroit that face a lot of
vacancy.
The shrinking city have plenty of open space to produce locally grown vegetables.
Okay. Great. Sibel.
Yeah. Nevertheless, increasing number of people than cities like New York, Tokyo and Hong Kong feel the urgent need to grow produce in their own city. The only spaces left in these cities are rooftops. 5 years ago, rooftops farm were utopian and only expressed in picture, rendering and collages. Now they emerge all over the world, making the city greener from above. Out of all these initiatives, we have selected 5 of the most interesting urban rooftop farms.
Okay, yeah, it's initiatives, but I'm going to go over the pronunciation of some of these words in a minute. Tomas, how about you read this next one about the HK farm?
Okay. HK farm is a relatively new farm in the amazingly dense city of Hong Kong. The farm, founded in March this year, aims to communicate the value of rooftop farming and the benefits of locally produced foods. Besides being a farm, the artistic organization behind HK Farm focuses on designing products and offering urban farming-related services in the city of Hong Kong.
Okay, great. So who could sum up for me what this article is mainly about? What are we talking about? Pretty easy.
The rooftop farm.
Yes. So we're talking about rooftop farms. And what does the word urban mean? When they say that they are urban farms, what are we talking about? Where is that?
Which paragraph?
Say it again, Sibel.
Sorry, which paragraph? Urban.
Urban.
Oh, well, urban. Everywhere, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was in many paragraphs. So I'm just trying to get a couple of the main ideas. So even at the top here, it says top 5 of the greatest urban rooftop farms.
Yeah. Okay, I see it. Yeah, thank you.
So can somebody give me another word for urban? What does it mean when we're talking about urban rooftop farms?
In the cities.
Metropolitan.
Yes, in the city. Okay. So when we
metropolitan.
Yes. So it mainly urban means in the city, and that's compared to in the farming area. So usually farms take place in what we call rural areas. And so urban areas are cities, and then farming usually takes place in rural areas. That's where you go out and there's land, lots of land, and where you see all the corn growing or the wheat or something like that. So this is the difference. That's the main idea here, is that now people in the cities want to start growing their own food. So why do you think, well, according to this article, Julissa, why do you think they chose to grow food, produce food on the rooftop?
Because in these big cities, they don't have more space, empty space, so they need to use the rooftop.
Right. So they don't have any more space or open space on the ground, right?
Yeah, on the ground.
Yeah, because it's all taken up by all these buildings. So if you look at this picture of Tokyo here, or is that? I think that's Tokyo. I'm not sure where this first picture is from. Anyways, looks like New York actually. That's a big city there, and so there's no space for farming in the way that we usually understand farming, where you have lots of acres of grass maybe, or just crops of different things. So people are realizing that they want to have fresh produce, and so they can just grow it on the rooftops. Okay, so I'm going to go back at the top, and I'm going to read, and I'm going to welcome Yosef. Hi there, Yosef. How you doing? Okay. I'm going to read so that everybody can understand and listen to my pronunciation of the words. And if you have any questions, we're going to go paragraph by paragraph to make sure everybody understands this. This will be a way for you guys to practice your pronunciation and also your comprehension, what you understand about how these phrases are put together. Okay. So the first paragraph. urban farming has become one of the major international urban trends. A good reason for us to make a top 5 of the greatest rooftop farms we've come across over the last years. So urban farming, we just talked about that, farming in the city,
Yes.
that means. And it's become one of the major international, so of course you guys know what international is, so in many cities and countries around the world, and trends. So this is probably a word I'm thinking some people might not understand. Does anybody know what it means, what an urban trend is?
I think it's a famous something on this time.
Yeah, something that's I can't understand what you're saying, Andre. What are you saying?
Tendance.
Write it in the chat box. Trend equals, Sibel, you said something that's famous, and I would say it more like something that is popular at the time. So it's becoming...
Yeah, it's like a fashion.
Yeah, like fashion trends. We talk about fashion trends. In this instance, we're talking about farming trends.
Solution.
Yeah, new ideas. It's usually talking about new ideas, things that are happening. Andre, what did you say? Kind of vibe or tendency? It's not really a vibe. It's more of a trend in something is how something is being done, and it's usually something new.
A new concept.
Yes, a new concept. Yes, good. A new concept, so a new trend. So this is becoming a new trend. That means it's happening more and more over the last years. Okay, so here we are, the second paragraph here. All over the world, people feel the need to start producing their food locally again. In cities, however, this is pretty difficult due to the lack of open spaces. The urban farming movement started in cities like Detroit that face a lot of vacancy. These shrinking cities have plenty of open space to produce locally grown vegetables. So, in this paragraph, it's kind of interesting. You have to understand a few things to make sure you understand what it means. So I think everybody understands the first sentence. All over the world, people feel the need to start producing. What does producing mean?
To do something.
Making something new.
Manufacturing.
Yeah, so to produce could be to make something. In this case, in farming, it means to grow your own food.
Manufacturing.
And if you're manufacturing something, it would be to produce something, manufacture it. Okay, so they wanted to have locally grown, so not just food from anywhere else, but from their local city, their own city. But it says here, in cities, however, this is pretty difficult due to the lack of open spaces. So usually there's a lack, and a lack, yes.
Decrease.
Lack is the necessity.
A lack means there's not, if something is lacking, it means it's not there. A shortage is a good word. Yes, a shortage is a good synonym for that. So they have a shortage of open spaces. The urban farming movement started in cities like Detroit that face a lot of vacancy. So vacancy is
free space.
Free space, yes. They had some free space because what happened in Detroit is a lot of businesses died, and they had a lot of open spaces, so they started farming in there, but not necessarily rooftop farming, but they had a lot of space in the city because of all the businesses that shut down. So these shrinking cities have plenty of open space to produce locally grown vegetables. So they're saying that when a city kind of loses businesses and they start tearing down the buildings and stuff, they might have some space to grow vegetables. But nevertheless, increasing numbers of people in dense cities, so those are really populated. Very dense means lots of people. Cities like New York, Tokyo, and Hong Kong feel the urgent need to grow produce in their own city. The only spaces left in these cities are rooftops. 5 years ago, rooftop farms were utopian and only expressed in pictures, renderings, and collages. Now they emerge all over the world, making the city greener from above. Out of all these initiatives, we've selected 5 of the most interesting urban rooftop farms. Okay, so I already said dense means when people, there's lots of people there.
People.
What does
Population.
urgent mean? Urgent need.
Need to quickly.
Something that needs to be done
Very
quickly.
fast.
Yes.
Very fast.
A problem need a quick solution.
Quick solution. Yes, you need a quick solution. Something is urgent. It means it's important to do.
Or magic solution.
Now. Okay. All right. So then it says the only spaces left in the rooftop. So we talked about the rooftops already. What does utopian mean here? 5 years ago, rooftop farms were utopian.
Impossible.
A dream.
A dream, yes. Exactly, a dream. So imaginary, something that would
the perfection.
Like an ideal thing.
Desirable.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Desirable.
Impossible.
Good.
It's a concept.
Yeah. A utopian means like something that would be really great, but it's not happening yet. It's an idea, but it hasn't happened yet. And so they say here it's only, it was only expressed in pictures, renderings, which is like drawings on computer, for example. That's what a rendering is. Or collages. A collage is just a collection of pictures. So that's what they're talking about. So it's really only a dream before that. But now these dreams have come true. And they are happening all over the place. And that's why they wrote this article to tell us about some of the main ones. So here's this one in Hong Kong. I'll read this paragraph for you guys here. HK Farm is a relatively new farm in the amazingly dense city of Hong Kong. The farm, founded in March this year, aims to communicate the value of rooftop farming and the benefits of locally produced food. Besides being a farm, the artistic organization behind HK Farm focuses on designing products and offering urban farming-related services in the city of Hong Kong. So a couple words might be new here. What does it mean, relatively new? Relatively.
Fairly. It's like fairly.
Fairly new, like it's just happened. Yes, it's fairly new. Yes, exactly, Andre. So relatively means like fairly new, like it's very recent. Recent. It's just a pretty new. You can say pretty new farm. Also is the same thing. And what is a benefit? What are the benefits? What does that word mean, benefit?
Payment, something from company.
Good things. Good things.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Sibel, you're talking about benefits. Yes, that's another.
Payment.
Yeah, that's another use for that word. If you're talking about you have a job and you get benefits, that means they maybe pay for insurance or something like that.
Or the government pay you the benefits.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Okay, good. And then the other one, services, farming-related services. What would that be, you think? Farming-related services.
Related works.
Do people do that?
Related works.
So usually they're talking about... Andre?
The people do that for the people?
Yes. So they have some kind of services that are related to that farm. So maybe they have tours, or you can come and they'll show you how to garden or something. So it's not just products like food and vegetables and stuff, but actual services that they also provide on this farm. Okay, while in the rest of the world farms are led by farmers, HK Farm is the first farm in the world with a creative director. Michael Leung is the founder and creative director of HK Farm. He also runs HK Honey and co-founded a community-oriented art and design platform called Shanghai Street Studios in Yau Ma Tei. Okay, what is a creative director? What do you think a creative director does?
I think
like
general.
Good idea.
Sibel, what did you say?
The first man?
General manager, I think, creative director.
Yeah, and Julissa, what do you think?
A lot of ideas.
Maybe he makes the design to make it more stylish, everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So the word creative means, the person who has creativity and who does the design work, and the director means he's like the boss.
One who not imitate.
Right. Yeah, he's the one who creates the new things in the garden and designs what it's going to look like. Okay, and we hear about that here in this paragraph where it said, Lung's interest in agriculture started abroad when he visited other rooftop farms like the world's largest rooftop farm, Brooklyn Grange. HK Farm is limited in size and won't produce much food over the year, but we must admit that the farm looks very stylish thanks to its creative director. So, just like Julissa just said, they're telling us that this farm is not very big and it probably won't give us very much food, but it looks stylish. So that means like it looks cool, it looks neat. Yeah, so that's what the creative director is giving us. He's giving us style. Okay, yeah. So most farmers aren't known to be very stylish. They're usually very just hardworking and more practical. Okay, so then we have this other Brooklyn Grange. This one says way more serious. So they're more serious about farming. In terms of produce, is the Brooklyn Grange Urban Rooftop Farm. Claimed to be the largest urban rooftop farm in the world, Brooklyn Grange serves the local community with real, organically produced vegetables and fruits. As producing food should be the focus point of a farm, we believe that this Brooklyn initiative deserves a spot on this list. Okay, so what does it mean in terms of organically? Are you familiar with organically grown food?
Natural.
Very natural.
Natural food.
Mm-hmm. And what is
Without chemical.
Natural food.
Yes, exactly. That's what the main point is about. Without chemicals like pesticides and herbicides and things like that.
Modificated.
Yeah.
Fertilizers.
Fertilizers, that type of thing. They can have natural fertilizers, but not chemical fertilizers. Okay.
With limit concentration.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Chemically modificated.
Yes. Okay, and then we have the focus. So their focus point. What does it mean to have a focus point?
Determination.
Important points.
Yes.
Target.
Principle.
The target.
Yes.
Target.
Yes, it's like their target. It's what they're focusing on. So as producing food should be the focus point. So it's their target. That's right. Target, or the thing that they want to do the most, is to produce food. That's their focus. Okay, good. And initiative. We believe that this Brooklyn initiative deserves. What is an initiative?
Imagination.
The new practice.
Not,
The new practice.
First action.
yes. Initiative.
New
It's
project.
not, yes, a new project. Good. That's right. I heard that right. Sibel, it's not imagination. It's when you start something new. You initiate. You can use the verb initiate, and that is when you start a new project. And what does it mean? Yeah, what does it mean to deserve something? They say it deserves a spot on this list.
I think reserves is like reservation, something like that.
No, deserve. Yeah, right. So, for example, yeah, deserve a spot on this list means that they should be on this list. They should get some recognition. That's what they're talking about.
Punishment.
They earn it, right?
Yes, they earned a spot on this list. So they deserve it. So for example, let's say that you have a child and your child plays soccer on a team, and the team worked very hard, and in the end, after the season, they won the championship, and you could say they deserved to win because they worked very hard. So it means like they did such a good job. It's a good thing that they got it. They deserved it. They should get it. Okay. All right. Here we go. With over 2 acres, so acres is just a land measurement, a rooftop under cultivation in Brooklyn and Queens. Brooklyn Grange has sold over 40,000 pounds, that's a lot, of veggies, that's another word for vegetables, to restaurants, CSA members, and the public via weekly farm stands. But the farm has expanded beyond its mission to grow vegetables. It currently keeps egg-laying chickens, and it has launched a commercial apiary, or apiary, you can say either way, cultivating bees for their honey. Okay, what does cultivate mean? Cultivation.
Planting.
Yeah,
Planting.
Plantation.
growing, planting, yes, producing. All of that means cultivating, growing.
Harvest.
Yeah, cultivating is more like growing. Harvesting would be what you do after it's already been grown, cultivated. Okay? And what does it mean that they expanded beyond their mission?
High prices. High prices.
Exceeded. Yeah, you could do that. That means they went beyond. They did more. They did more than what they said they were going to do in the beginning. Did more than what they said. So they expanded. Means get bigger. They made it their mission bigger. So not only do they grow vegetables, but now they have chickens, and they launched a commercial apiary. What does it mean to launch something?
Start.
Yes, to start, exactly. They started a commercial apiary. And if you don't know what an apiary is, the next few words tell you.
Honeycomb.
It's for growing bees.
Honeycomb.
Yeah, honeycomb. Apiary is the actual place where the bees live. So the boxes and stuff. Yeah, bees. Okay, the educational non-profit farm City Growers hosts thousands of New York's youth. So kids come there for educational tours to learn about they come there to learn about the farm, and workshops. A workshop is a time period where you go and learn about something each season. Brooklyn, by the way, could be considered the international capital of urban farming. Besides Brooklyn Grange, it also hosts the Eagle Street Rooftop Farm in Greenpoint and Gotham Greens, a rooftop farm which consists of sterile greenhouses that produce over 80 tons, that's a lot, of premium quality produce year-round. So there's lots of greenhouses in Brooklyn producing a lot of food for people. Okay, this one is in Rotterdam. So it says, in Rotterdam, an architecture collective. So here we go. They weren't necessarily farmers. It was a group of architects, people who designed buildings. It has reclaimed. What does it mean to reclaim something?
Treated water.
Say it again.
Treated water.
To ask for.
Yeah.
Change into cultivated land.
Yes. So they reclaim means to take it back and to use it for something else. So in this case, they reclaimed an old building. So they took back an old building that was in the center of the city and started to use it to have an urban farm on the top of the roof. That's what it's telling us in this paragraph here. The garden houses vegetables and herbs and some bees too.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. The
May
rest.
I ask you some question about reclaim? It's like
yes.
Recycle, something like that?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like when you recycle something, it's like you reuse it again. You can reuse. Actually, recycling is more like when you take something to get recycled, but it's more like reuse. So if you reclaim it, you take it back to use it for something else. So you reuse it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So they're doing the vegetables, and they're doing some herbs, which are like spices and things like oregano or parsley or something like that for cooking. And they have bees too. Okay. Let's see. And they sell their stuff to restaurants and shops. And then it says, also in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, the Zuidpark rooftop farm has opened its doors last year. Located along the city's ring road, Zuidpark focuses on activities, workshops, and education, as well as on organizing special dinners with a view. Okay, so here's this one that I think is really cool. The city farm in Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. They can grow rice up there. So here, this one says, city farm in Tokyo sets itself apart. Sets itself apart from European and American rooftop farms. So sets itself apart means it's special. It's different than these European and American ones. The idea of producing local food for the community is the same, so it has the same idea. And also in Tokyo, activities are organized to let the urban population, so the people who live there, witness, that means see, how food grows. The type of food, though, is slightly different, so that means like a little bit different, and focused on the Japanese kitchen. Crops produced by City Farm include rice, eggplants, and soybeans. So these are obviously things that are eaten more in Japan than perhaps in America or Europe. This requires different farming techniques. As rice grows in wet circumstances, draining and irrigating the roof will be different from Western world rooftop farms. Okay, so why is it so different in Japan? What are they growing that's different?
Rice.
Rice, yeah, that's a big difference because you have to grow. What does it mean? What does it mean that they have to grow rice in wet circumstances? What does that mean?
Circumstances.
Rain.
It requires more water.
Water.
Yeah, they need water, right? They need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a circumstances. The wet circumstance means water. Like I said, not a dry circumstance, not a dry condition, but a wet one. So they have to have water. Okay, I'm going to have to go quickly here to finish up in time. On September 1st, Lemura Kazuki opened Omotesando Farm, a rooftop garden rental space. So a rental space, and in central upscale, yeah, it costs a lot of money. That's what upscale means. It's like a very rich neighborhood. So commercial, rich businesses, and residential means where people live. And so the farm offers 16 plots, so that's like a little spaces for your garden, and you can rent them for only $170 to $250 per month. So it costs you a lot of money. Yeah, a lot of money to grow your own vegetables. And the last,
I can do it in Brazil.
No. I wonder, in Brazil, are there any rooftop farms?
No.
No, I don't think so. No.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe there will be someday in bigger, more and more of these in different cities. So this last
new trend.
Yeah, it's a new enterprise for somebody. So talking about large-scale farming from an entrepreneurial, yes, it's an entrepreneurial thing to do, starting something new. Lufa Farms, yes, Lufa Farms in Montreal is pretty interesting. On top of a 2-story building, the farm has built a 31,000 square foot greenhouse. So you can see what the greenhouse is right there in glass. Over 40 different crops are being produced year-round. That means all year, winter, even in the wintertime. In the rather innovative means new and different and some new design. Innovative greenhouses that can even stand the snow. That means they can even be warm even though it's freezing cold outside in the Canadian winters. And finally, the last paragraph, for watering the plants, the farm uses the irrigation system of the building. That means the irrigation system is where the water comes from. For some crops produced in this greenhouse, extra energy is needed. This energy is largely provided by the building too. This way, Lufa Farms really uses the advantages of the urban conditions, so the things that you find in cities, which makes it a real urban rooftop farm. Lufa Farms is currently looking to expand, so they want to grow its activities to the United States and find a way to scale urban farming. Okay, that was a pretty long article, and I hope you guys learned something new, and maybe you guys will start your own rooftop farms.
Entrepreneurship.
Good idea, I think.
Yeah, it's a good way to
We need
grow
to be
your own food.
entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur, yeah.
And we have the more
I'm looking for
experience.
a membership.
Yes, yeah, have a membership.
We have the more
Come back to
experience.
Brazil and let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's already 2 o'clock, so I have to go end this class and start the next class. So if you want to practice writing, we're gonna do some writing in the next class. Thanks for participating.
Thank you, Lisa. Very
Okay.
interesting.
You're
Bye
welcome.
bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you